Good evening, good evening, good evening, my YouTube family. Good evening. It is Wednesday, March the 10th, y'all. Come on in. Welcome to the broadcast tonight. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, and you know what time it is, y'all. It is Keeping Up with Congress. Please like, please subscribe, please hit that notification button. Y'all, please share this broadcast. I've been diligent. I come to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm consistent. I'm diligent. I am here, y'all. Keeping up with Congress. We are holding our elected officials accountable. We're looking for opportunities in legislation. Where is the money? Who is it going to? How do we get some of it, y'all? We're not playing with these people. We're not playing. Let me share my screen. Let me make this bigger. Here you go. Of course, you know this is brought to you by Withhold the Vote, where we hold our elected officials and our candidates accountable. We're harnessing our political power. No more do we go to the polls and just show up and give this thing away for free. I talk about it all the time, y'all. It's the pimp game. No more do we go to the polls and give this thing away for free. No, it's over. It's over. So let's dive in. You know, I always like to start out with some reparations information. Let's make my screen a little larger for you. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Talks about 40 acres and a mule, y'all. You know that 40 acres and a mule that we didn't get. It says some 156 years after the end of the Civil War and the official abolish of slavery. Excuse me, y'all. A little tongue tying tonight. Through the 13th Amendment, the idea of reparations is gaining currency in Washington. It says on March the 1st, Cedric Richmond, a senior advisor to President Joe Biden, suggested the White House could, and here's the word I want y'all to see. The White House could, I don't like that, could start acting now on the issue. The article goes on to say, having researched slavery for the past 3 decades, I have concluded that there are many rationales for reparations. There has been a leveling of the playing field. There has never been a leveling of the playing field or payments for the debt of unpaid labor over 250 years of slavery. It says, furthermore, Black contribution to the wealth of America has not been acknowledged or given its due, in spite of the fact that the Southern planters and Northern manufacturers who helped shape the nation were made rich by turning raw commodities harvested by enslaved people into commercial empires. Yep, exactly. I want to scroll down to the bottom. It says paying reparations to Americans of African descent could, I believe, help the U.S. reclaim some moral leadership on the global stage. The U.S. is not the only country in the world with human rights abuses, then or now, but it can be the one of the few countries in the world that truly addresses these wrongs. In other words, the U.S. can lead by example. Exactly. Reparations is due, reparations is here, and reparations is now. We're not going to stop. We're not going to go away. We're just not. We got the blood of our ancestors running through our veins. And we're not going to quit. We're not going to give up. Reparations, y'all. You know, I like to bring you some business information as well. It says COVID has put a whole generation of Black-owned businesses at risk, to say the least, right? This goes on. This is a pretty lengthy article, but I wanted to read a paragraph from it. It says decades of public and private initiatives meant to boost minority-owned businesses have fallen short. Since the 1980s, Race-based contracting preferences have been weakened by federal court rulings. Now the pandemic's fallout threatens to arrest the nascent progress of a generation of Black entrepreneurs. That would only widen the yawning gap between wealth held by white people and that held by African Americans, which had barely begun to narrow after the last recession in 2009. We was barely coming out of it, y'all, and now here come COVID. 41%. I read just today, 41% of our businesses are gone. Gone. Almost half are gone. This is a pretty lengthy article, but I just wanted to bring that to you, that paragraph. But here's something encouraging. 15% pledge. It calls on retailers to commit space to Black-owned businesses. I love solutions, y'all. We know the problems. We live it. It's our existence. It's our everyday. But I love solutions. How do we fix this? What do we need to do? Like, how do we get over this and beyond this? So this is a 15% pledge. It calls on retailers to commit space to Black-owned businesses. Her name is Aurora James. She was frustrated when she would go to stores and see a lack of Black-owned business brands, Black-owned brands on shelves. It was out of that frustration that the fashion designer decided she needed to be a part of the solution by disrupting business as usual. Goes on to say, in the aftermath of George Floyd's killing, she took to Instagram and demanded major retailers commit 15% of their shelf space to Black-owned brands, creating the initiative, the 15% pledge. Black people in the U.S. make up nearly 15% of the population, its website says. It says, according to a report conducted last June by the National Bureau of Economic Research, here it goes, 41%, y'all, of Black-owned businesses have closed due to the pandemic, compared to less than 17% of white-owned businesses. Y'all, we hurting. We hurting, y'all. We hurting. And we gonna have to demand that we're repaired. I see your family coming on in. Thank you. I see you. I'll put your comments on the screen in just a little bit at the end of the hour. But I thank you for joining me tonight, family. So let's dive into these bills. Y'all. I'm in tonight with a mic drop because the last bill that I put up here tonight, I said I'm not even gonna put up another one. This was enough for one day. But we're gonna start out with S311, Stopping the Doctor Shortages Act. So you would think that this is about bringing doctors into the workforce. It says Stopping Doctor Shortages Act. This is Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat out of California. Looked it up, of course. It goes on to say, this was last Congress, last session. This is what it said, 116th Congress. To amend the Higher Education Act of 1965 to include certain employment as a healthcare practitioner as eligible for public service loan forgiveness. So this bill was introduced last session. I didn't find any information about the specifics of this session. I told you a lot of these bills are still a work in progress. A summary is in progress. So I don't have the specifics. They haven't put the specifics on the website. So this was from last Congress where they're forgiving student loans for doctors. And that's what I found specific to that bill. Senator Feinstein introduced it as well. So we'll see what it says. That's why we keep our eyes on Congress, like who's getting the help and who's not. Senate Bill 311. Senate Bill 312 is the COVID-19 Safer Detention Act of 2021. Safer Detention Act of 2021. Senator Richard Durbin, Democrat out of Illinois. Safer Detention Act of 2021. So this legislation, I did find some information about it, says a group of U.S. senators is pushing to expand compassionate release eligibility for elderly federal inmates during the pandemic and beyond, wielding bipartisan support to revive a bill that failed to advance last year. The COVID-19 Safer Detention Act of 2021 seeks to bring parts of the First Step Act in line with the pandemic's impact on the U.S. Bureau of Prisoners' elderly population. This bill would reform the elderly home detention pilot program for elderly and terminally ill inmates, establishing vulnerability to COVID-19 due to age or ill health as a basis for compassionate release. So we're going to let these older elderly inmates out in the midst of this COVID. Let them out. Let them out. I agree. This is Senate Bill 312, Richard Durbin, Democrat out of Illinois, Senate Bill 312. Senate Bill 313 is expanding the SNAP options of 2021. SNAP, those are our benefits. This is who introduces Richard Durbin again, Democrat out of Illinois. It says along with nine of their Senate colleagues today introduced a bill to address hunger needs during the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond by requiring the U.S. Department of Agriculture to expand online Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that's SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, expand their purchasing choices. The Expanding SNAP Option Act would provide funding for the creation of a universal online app-based portal to make access to nutritious foods from the full variety of SNAP retailers possible and easy to navigate for consumers. Online SNAP purchasing is currently limited to a very small number of approved retailers due to technological and financial barriers. And in many states, the only options are Walmart and Amazon, leaving out smaller independent grocers, local growers and farmers markets, and other specialty neighborhood retailers. The bill also provides funding for a USDA Technical Assistance Center to help small retailers in carrying out an online platform. I think this is good legislation in this COVID season where a lot of people are ordering their groceries, and absolutely expanding the SNAP Options Act. Tammy Duckworth, Richard Durbin and Duckworth. We've been following her, y'all. We talked about Tammy Duckworth last night, Democrat out of Illinois. I found out that she did put her name on S40. So I was proud to see that. So those of you from the Chicago, Illinois, state of Illinois, she does have her name on Senate Bill 40 over in for reparations. That's Senate Bill 13. Senate Bill 314, y'all. Klamath Tribe Judgment Fund Repeal Act, the Klamath Tribe Judgment Fund Repeal Act. Senator Jeff Merkley, he's a Democrat out of Oregon. I had to look this one up from the last Congress, from the 116th Congress, last Congress. So over there, it says this bill repeals the Klamath Tribe Judgment Fund Act, which sets forth how funds credited to the Klamath tribe must be distributed. The Department of the Interior must disperse to the tribe the balance of funds that were appropriated or deposited into per capita trust accounts and trust accounts for remaining legal fees and administration. It sounds like they owe these people some money. Sound like they owe them some money. So this is from the last Congress, the 116th Congress, but it is back in this Congress, the 117th Congress, Klamath Tribe Judgment Fund Repeal Act. Senate Bill 314. Senate Bill 315 is the Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents Act. Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents Act. Senator Blumenthal, Richard Blumenthal, Democrat out of Connecticut. The Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents Act, this was of 2019, but this doesn't say here, but let's see what it says. That was introduced prior. This legislation is vital to guarantee the human right to high quality, long-term care for the seniors and individuals with disabilities who depend on nursing home facilities to survive. So Senate Bill 315, the Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents Act. Senate Bill 316, Fly Safe and Healthy Act of 2021. Fly Safe and Healthy Act of 2021. I don't know how many of y'all are traveling right now. I'm not in too much of a hurry to get on a plane, but I know a lot of people are moving around and traveling. So let's see what this one says. This is to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 by launching a pilot program to require temperature checks at TSA screenings for air travelers. Okay. Temperature checks. Are they checking the temperatures, y'all, for travelers? I hadn't heard that. I don't think they are. So this was from September of 2020 when it was introduced. So I'm assuming that they're not, but here we are. S316, Fly Safe and Healthy Act of 2021. Senator Maria Cantwell, Democrat out of Washington State. Senate Bill 317, Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents and Workers during COVID-19 Act. Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents and Workers. And we just saw something about elderly care in nursing homes. So my thing is this: why do y'all have, and there was a bill that was introduced not, maybe a few weeks back where we saw that they just have all these bills that are in the same vein. So why not have these bills like y'all need to coordinate? Y'all need to work together. Why do you have all of these bills and everybody want to have a little piece of something? All right, Senator Cory Booker, Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents and Workers during COVID-19 Act. And this was actually introduced in the last Congress by over in the House, Representative Janice Skowalski, Democrat out of Illinois. This bill, I want to read this to you. This bill modifies several requirements for Medicare skilled nursing facilities and Medicaid nursing facilities during the during the public health emergency relating to COVID-19. Specifically, and they call them NSF, the Medicaid skilled nursing facilities is NSFs, and the Medicaid nursing facilities are called NFs. So if you hear me say the abbreviations, you'll know what I'm saying. So specifically, the SNFs and the NFs must comply with specified quality of care, worker safety, and transparency requirements subject to civil penalties. Requirements include testing residents and employees for COVID-19 weekly or before shifts, respectively, and reporting any lack of available testing kits on a daily basis, providing at least 2 weeks of paid sick leave to each employee, and reporting the number of COVID-19 causes and deaths, including demographic information on a daily basis. This is some overreach. Cory Booker. But this was from last Congress, but this is what it said. It says, and here's the bigger part of it: the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services must also distribute funds to allow states to establish strike teams that may be deployed to SNFs and NFs within 72 hours of 3 or more COVID-19 diagnoses to help separate those who have been exposed, supervise testing, and ensure enforcement of whistleblower protections, among other needs. Teams must include members of the National Guard, y'all, public health officials, medical experts, and representatives of residents and workers. That's some overreach, Cory Booker, if that's what this is to say, because this was from last Congress. I'll give him a break. Janice Skowalski, Democrat out of Illinois. This was her bill, but it's the same word, the same Quality Care for Nursing Home Residents and Workers during COVID-19 Act. So I'm Cory, I hope that ain't what it says, because that's a whole lot of overreach. Senate Bill 317, Cory Booker. Senate Bill 318, the Presidential Pardon Transparency Act of 2021. Y'all, they are still mad at Donald Trump. They still mad with Donald Trump. Law. I'm telling you, I think he found every damn loophole he could. He did. So they cleaning up. It's gonna be a while for y'all to clean it up. He made a mess. I believe he really did make a mess. Senate Bill 318, the Presidential Pardon Transparency Act of 2021. Jeff Merkley, Democrat out of Oregon. But this was introduced over in the House as well. It's in the Senate, but here's the House version. I didn't find anything for the Senate, but I'm just going to assume it's the same thing. It's the same words, same Congress. So it goes on to say, to require the publication of the name of any person pardoned by the president. Y'all, they don't know who the hell Donald Trump pardoned. I told y'all, I think he made a mess. A lot of folks got out to require the publication of the name of any person pardoned by the president. Y'all, they're going to be cleaning up for a while. Senate Bill 318, the Presidential Pardon Transparency Act of 2021. Senate Bill 319, Democracy Dies in Darkness Act. Senator Wicker, Republican out of Mississippi. Democracy dies in darkness. Y'all, I had to look this up. I'm like, what is that? What? Of course I looked it up, but this was something from the Washington Post. It says the Washington Post unveiled Democracy Dies in Darkness a month after President Trump was sworn into office. But even though Mr. Trump may be on the way out, the slogan is staying. This was before he left. But this is a slogan, but I didn't find, let me see. Only thing I found was this, and it's very vague about Senate Bill 319, the Democracy Dies in Darkness Act, to amend the Foreign Agents Registration Act of 1938 as amended to strengthen the conspicuous statement required on certain informational materials and for other purposes. Yeah, still don't know what the hell that is. It's quite vague. Democracy Dies in Darkness Act. This is why we have to keep up with Congress. This is why we have to do this work and get behind the scenes. A lot of these things that are happening, we don't know what this is, why this is. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. I told y'all this is bigger than me. This is bigger than me, and it really is going to take all of us. So here's something that I found interesting. This is one of the ones that I'm like scratching my head on, right? This was this one, Senate Bill 320, and I'll tell you why. John Lewis, NIMHD, Research Endowment Revitalization Act of 2021. Now, this bill was introduced by Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican out of Louisiana. Okay, let's see what he did and why I find this bill interesting. So let me tell you what it is. So the John Lewis National Institute on Minority Health and Health Disparities Research Endowment Revitalization Act to the U.S. Senate. That's the name of it, the long name. The legislation would increase investments in schools conducting critical research into minority health disparities. I ain't mad at him. I'm with him right now. So here's his explanation for it. As a doctor who worked in Louisiana's charity hospital system and now a senator, providing quality health care to underserved communities is a priority. This is the legislator, Dr. Cassidy. Universities like Xavier in Louisiana are doing great research to address minority health disparities. This legislation supports their efforts. Okay, I'm still rocking with you, but let me see what else she's saying. So communities of color, this is Senator Schatz. Communities of color are being hit hardest by the pandemic, but these health disparities existed long before this current crisis. The senator goes on to say, we need to support institutions that are doing the work, the hard work, to build a diverse workforce and better understand how to close these health disparities. Okay, sound like y'all doing it for all the right reasons, but here's where we have to keep reading and why keeping up with Congress. I keep telling y'all this is so important. The John Lewis NIMHD Research Endowment Revitalization Act was introduced by the late Representative John Lewis, Democrat out of Georgia, in the 116th Congress. Okay, we're clear this is some legislation that was John Lewis's, right? All right. The bill would allow the National Institute of Minority Health and Health Disparities, NIMHD, to resume providing grants for critical research into minority health disparities. Okay, here's where it gets tricky, y'all. The Research Endowment Program at NIMHD provides funding for the endowments of academic institutions across the country, such as Xavier University of Louisiana College of Pharmacy. So I'm scratching my head, right? Why isn't anything that was left on the table by John Lewis being picked up by Senator Raphael Warnock or Senator John Ossoff? Come on, y'all. Come with me. Come with me. Why anything that was left on the table undone, why is it not being picked up by Warnock and Ossoff? I'm going to leave that on the table for y'all. I'm going to let y'all kind of ponder that with me, because there's a reason why they can't introduce legislation. This is a Republican out of Louisiana. I'm confused. What's going on? What kind of deals are being made? What's going on? Whose hands are tied? What's going on? I'm gonna leave that, y'all. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna write this bill down, because we're gonna have to come back. We're gonna keep our eye on this one. Yeah, I wrote it down. We'll come back to that one. Senate Bill 321, the 6888 Congressional Gold Medal Act of 2021, the 6888 Congressional Gold Medal Act of 2021. I didn't know what the 6888 was, y'all, but it's interesting. This is Senator Moran. Let me go back. Senator Moran, Jerry Moran, Republican, y'all. Republican. I want y'all to see some of the stuff they're doing. And it make you scratch your head and ask a lot of questions. Republican out of Kansas, Senator Moran. Now, let me tell you who this 6888, who is this? So this was bipartisan legislation to award the Congressional Gold Medal to the members of the Women's Army Corps who were assigned to the 6888th, the 6,888th Central Postal Directory Battalion, the 6888, during World War II. The unit served at home and in Europe, where they sorted and routed mail for millions of American service members and civilians. The 6888 Postal Directory Battalion was the only all-Black, all-female battalion to serve overseas during World War II. And they were responsible for clearing out an overwhelming backlog of mail, making certain American troops receive letters from home to boost their morale. Y'all look at this picture. I'm gonna make this bigger. Y'all, can y'all see this? I just told you he was a Republican out of Kansas. What's going on? So Senator Morale meets with surviving members of the battalion during the dedication of the memorial for the 6888th Central Postal Directory Battalion at Fort Leavenworth. Keeping up with Congress, y'all. We look, the games. Senate Bill 321. We appreciate the recognition. I just wonder why they do what they do and what this means and what is this? Keeping up with Congress. Senate Bill 322, the Protect Act. Protect Act. What are we protecting? Senator Tills, Republican out of North Carolina. What are we protecting? I actually found. Did I find anything? I found the Protect Act from the 108th Congress back in 2003 and 2004. I don't know what he protecting. Protect Act. There's like I say, the summary is in progress, y'all. We don't have a summary for this bill, but let's see what he says he's protecting. I don't know. This is from the 108th Congress. So I don't believe it's something with children, prosecutorial remedies and other tools to end the exploitation of children today Act of 2003. I'm not sure if that's what it is, and I don't want to assume because that was so long ago, but the Protect Act, it's Senator Tillis, Republican out of North Carolina. Senate Bill 323, a bill to terminate, y'all. Here's where we're going to drop the mic. I told you this is my mic drop for tonight. This is my mic drop for tonight. Senator Rand Paul, y'all. Rand Paul, Republican, Kentucky. A bill to terminate the Department of Education. Just the whole damn department, y'all. The whole damn department. Terminate it. After I read this, I was done. So let me tell you, the Department of Education, the mission is to promote student achievement and preparation for global competitiveness by fostering educational excellence and ensuring equal access. That's the mission for the Department of Education. But Rand Paul says, let's terminate the whole damn department. So here's where I was like, I gotta find out about where this is coming from. So it's actually introduced over in the House too, to abolish the Federal Department of Education, y'all. This is introduced over by Representative Massey. So here's the explanation for it. Unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. should not be in charge of our children's intellectual and moral development, said Massey. States and local communities are best positioned to shape curricula that meet the needs of their students. Schools should be accountable. Parents have the right to choose the most appropriate educational opportunity for their children, including homeschool, public school, or private school. So they quoted Reagan. So this is not something that they just invented, y'all. This is Ronald Reagan. The Department of Education began operating in 1980. And on September 24th, 1981, in his address to the nation on the Program for Economic Recovery, President Ronald Reagan said, as a third step, we propose to dismantle two cabinet departments, energy and education. Both secretaries are wholly in accord with this. So back in the 80s, Ronald Reagan said he was getting rid of the Department of Energy and the Department of Education. So they still riding on that. So it goes on to say, in what Ronald Reagan was saying, he says, education is the principal responsibility of local school systems, teachers, parents, citizens boards, and state governments. By eliminating the Department of Education, less than 2 years after it was created, we can not only reduce the budget, but ensure that local needs and preferences, rather than the wishes of Washington determine the education of our children. That was enough for me for tonight. I was done. I was done. I was like, enough. A bill to terminate the Department of Education when not everybody has a choice. When our schools and our Black communities kids are bused from here to there. I was a part of that. Didn't go to school. I didn't go to high school in my neighborhood. I'm a product of that M to M program. I know what it's like to have to go to school somewhere else. They want to terminate the Department of Education, y'all. Senator Rand Paul. It was enough for tonight. That was enough for me. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. Y'all. Thank you for joining me tonight. You know, of course, I'll be back with you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7:30 p.m. Please share. Please hit that like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Spread the word. Go to the website if you haven't already. Withhold the vote. We have our meeting tonight. So I'm about to jump off and we're going to go to our Zoom meeting. We have our meeting where we get behind the scenes and do the work. So there it is. Join us. Be a part of what we're doing. We're not playing. We're going to hold them accountable. We're not going into 2022 being pimped, y'all. Pimped at the polls. It's over. We're going to have receipts in these political streets. Y'all have a good night. I will see you tomorrow night. And I'll put your comments on the screen as I always do on the way out. Let me put it up here right now. Good night, y'all.